Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. Today we'll be studying chapter number 2, that is God is omnipotent. See, what do you mean by omnipotent? Omnipotent means complete power. Omni means which is present everywhere, and potent means power. You can say power जिसके अंदर complete एक बहुत ही ज्यादा powerful thing होती है, उसी को हम बोलते हैं potent. Potent is actually a word which is very much suitable. Over here, potent is power, and omni means which is present everywhere, right? This omni means present everywhere. It means complete power. See, in this chapter, we will learn about a beggar who was unwavering faith in God. See, who in this chapter we will be studying about a beggar. Beggar कौन होता है? भिखारी, जिसको भगवान के ऊपर अटूट भरोसा है. Unwavering means जिसपे हमें बिल्कुल एकदम आंखें बंद करके भरोसा है. And he says that everything happens only by God's will. What he says कि सब कुछ भगवान की मर्जी से होता है. He is the one who controls everything, and he is the one who controls everything. Even the king gets angry due to his determination. Even the king in this chapter, he became angry. Why? Because of his determination, because of its inspiration towards God. So let's just read this story. Once there lived a generous king in Vijayanagar. See, in Vijayanagar there lives a kind king. Generous means kind. He looked after his subjects as his sons and always cared for their welfare. He looked after his subjects, उसके subjects क्या हैं? As his sons and always cared for their welfare. And every time his duty is to take care of his sons for their welfare. The people always spoke high of the king because they were all happy in his kingdom. See, all the people that are residing inside the kingdom, they all praises the king because the king is actually the one who takes care of the welfare of all the members of the kingdom. One day, two beggars, Ravi and Sunil, they used to come to him for alms and he would always give them food and money. See, one day what happened? Two beggars, Ravi and Sunil, they came to his kingdom, right? And for alms. What is alms? Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's food, right? And on receiving this alms, Ravi used to say, God provides. And when he received something like sometime money or sometime food, then Ravi used to say, Bhagwan ही देता है हमें सब कुछ. And but Sunil said, our king provides. But Sunil is the one who says कि हमें किसने दिया है? King ने दिया है. The king thought that Ravi did not praise him for his generosity. King क्या सोच रहा है? The king is thinking that Ravi जो है, he did not praise the king for his generosity, means for the kind work that he did. Instead, he always praises God, and Ravi is the one who always praises God. He had a little grumble about him. Grumble about it means उसको थोड़ा सा क्या आता है, इस बात से बहुत ही ज्यादा गुस्सा आता है. He in his mind that he never shown it to him that actually the king gets grumble on Ravi talks because he always says कि सब कुछ देने वाला कौन है? भगवान है. Sunil is the one who says कि सब कुछ king दे रहा है. But inside this, when king heard the words of this Ravi, he grumbles inside. Means उसको गुस्सा तो बहुत आता है अंदर से, but वो कुछ कहता नहीं है. One day, Ravi and Sunil, they come as usual for alms. One day, what happened? They both enter the kingdom for alms. As usual, they used to come, and that day the king give them more money than the usual. Then the usual means कि वो लोग जो हैं अधिकतर जो दिया करते थे, मतलब जितना उनको दिया करते थे, उस दिन उसको more than the usual दिया. Whereupon Ravi cried out jubilantly. And here Ravi cried jubilantly means very happily he cried, God provides. And again he said, सब कुछ करने वाला कौन है? भगवान. And this annoyed the king very much. And this thing actually irritated the king very much. The king got irritated at Ravi on him, and he thought that it is me who is feeding him, and he keeps saying that God provides, God provides. See, he's saying that It is the I, that is the king who provides all the things to Ravi. But Ravi always used to say that God provides, God provides. Now it's the time to teach him a lesson. Now it's the time to teach him that who was the real बेनिफिक्टर इज, हु इज द बेनिफिक्टर? बेनिफिक्टर वो लोग होते हैं जो हमको दुआएं देते हैं. बेनिडिक्शन, दिस वर्ड इज एक्चुअली ओरिजिनेटेड फ्रॉम बेनिडिक्शन, जो हम लोग को दुआ देते हैं. और इसी का ऑपोजिट होता है मालफिक्टर. दैट मीन्स जो हम लोग को बददुआएं देते हैं. मालडिक्शन मीन्स समवन हु कर्स, एंड बेनिडिक्शन मीन्स द वन हु ऑलवेज थिंक्स ऑफ द वेलफेयर ऑफ अदर्स, जो हमेशा हमारा भला सोचे, उन्हीं को हम क्या बोलते हैं? बेनिफिक्टर्स. Now the very next day, when Ravi and Sunil they came, the king gave them arms and said, "Don't go on your old way today." What did he said when he gave all his arms to this both the beggars? He said, "And don't go on the usual way you used to go. Now rather take the road that people seldom use. Now you just go on that path जो लोग बहुत क्या करते हैं, कम इस्तेमाल करते हैं. I have provided you something, one for you, and God will provide you for other." And what he's saying, that I have provided something for one of you. मैंने एक एक चीज तो मैंने आपको प्रोवाइड करी है, और एक चीज ऐसी है उस रास्ते में जो कौन प्रोवाइड करेगा? गॉड. So one thing I am providing you on one way, and another thing it will be provided on God on the same way only. They were all surprised. They both were surprised, and however, they promised to do so. So they obeyed the king and they went on the another way today, not on the usual way they used to go. The king made sure that Sunil should go ahead of Ravi. What did the king make sure? That Sunil should go ahead of Ravi. It means first Ravi will go, and then on just following the same path, Sunil will go. He had ordered a purse full of gold be kept on the road in the beggar's path. And what did the king does? He actually ordered a purse which is full of gold, and he kept that purse inside on the way they are moving. That would find it. And but as the beggars they walked down the road, they kept on wondering at the peculiar order of the king. As they were going on the another path, and they kept on thinking at the peculiar. What do you mean by peculiar? Means particular order of the king, that king has ordered, and perhaps the king wants me to enjoy the solitude of the road. And they are saying perhaps iske alawa king wants me to enjoy the solitude. Solitude means alone, अकेले रास्ते का अच्छा सा अनुभव लेना. Sunil thought it is indeed a beautiful road, so broad, and बहुत ही ज़्यादा सुंदर है. It's a beautiful road, and so broad means it's so wide. One can walk with the eyes closed, and this road, it is so broad, that it is so wide that one can walk by closing his or her eyes. And he closed his eyes, and as a result he could not see the purse lying on the ground. And as soon as he closed his eyes, he didn't saw that there was a purse lying on the ground. And on the other hand, Ravi had also been thinking that why the king has issued such an order. And on the other way, on the other side, this Ravi was also thinking that why the king had did this, why he told us to choose the another way today. Perhaps he wants me to enjoy the beauty of his creation, he thought. They thought that he wants me to enjoy the beauty of the nature, and kept on looking very little things around and praising God, kept on looking at the very things around and praising the God for such a beautiful universe. Perhaps he wants me to enjoy the beauty of his creation because he asked us to take the another way. So they asked this why? Because he wants us to enjoy the beauty of the nature, and he thought and kept on looking at every little things around and passing the God for his mercy. कि भगवान ने उन पे क्या करा है? तरस करा है, so that he can do that, so that he can praise for all the beautiful things that Mother Earth has given us. Suddenly he saw a purse which is lying on the roadside, and he picked up and kept it to himself. Suddenly on that way, while going on that way, They saw a purse which is lying on the ground, and they just took that purse and basically kept it to himself like this. And the very next day, the king asked Sunil whether he had found something on the road sent by him, but Sunil shook his head. On the very next day, the king asked the Sunil whether he had found something. क्या उसको रास्ते में कुछ मिला था on the road? But Sunil shook his hand. Yes, shook his head. It was really a beautiful road, he said, but I did not find anything on it. What did Sunil reply? That it was a very beautiful road, but I did not found anything. But Ravi said, but I did, said Ravi. I found a purse of gold coin. What did he said? That I found a purse which was full of gold coin and God provided. Now the king became very more determined to show Ravi that he was their true benefactor. See, now the king became even more determined. Even more determined means he was now even more eager to know, to show Ravi that he was their true benefactor. That कौन है उसका असली benefactor? That is the king. So while they were going away, he called Sunil back and gave him a pumpkin. And while going back, he called Sunil कि वापस आओ, and he gave him a pumpkin. उसको क्या दे दिया? एक pumpkin. You all know pumpkin, that पेठा kind of. The pumpkin had been hollowed out and filled with silver coins, and inside pumpkin it was hollow, and there were silver coins inside the pumpkin. But Sunil did not knew about it. On the way, he sold it to a vegetable vendor for few coins. And what happened? But Sunil did not knew there was silver coins inside the pumpkin, and because it was hollow, so he just sold that pumpkin to the vegetable vendor. Who are vegetable vendors? जो लोग सब्जी बेचते हैं. ऐसे we have fruit vendors जो fruits बेचते हैं for few coins, और कुछ ही पैसों के लिए उन्होंने उसको pumpkin को बेच दिया. And the next day the king asked if anything eventful had happened the previous day. Now the very next day the king basically asked Sunil ki is there is something eventful that happened yesterday? He looked meaningfully at Sunil. Nothing, said Sunil. Sunil said, no, nothing. Nothing happened so eventful except that I earned a few more coins than the usual by selling the pumpkin. He said that I sold the pumpkin on more money, with more money, that I earned a few more coins rather than the usual one. And the king tried hard not to show his dismay. Dismay means the king actually hide his emotion. Dismay means a condition with no hope. आप बहुत ही ज्यादा उदास हैं. And you, he said to Ravi, did anything happen to you? And he said to Ravi, ki anything eventful happened to you also? Oh, yes, said Ravi. I was passing by a vegetable vendor shop and he called me and gave me a pumpkin. And what did Ravi said? Ravi said that I was passing through the vegetable vendor shop and he called me and get me the pumpkin. And when I went home and cut it, I found that it was full of silver coins. And as I always said, God provides. It is the one who did everything. And the king realized that God is omnipotent, nothing can happen against his will. And through this way, king came to realize that God is the complete power. He is the one who did everything, and everything happened according to the God wills, not our will. So this story basically teaches us that God is omnipotent, means God is present everywhere. God is basically omniporous. You can say it's omnipotent, and He is the one who is having the complete power. Everything that took place, every event, any activity, any challenging activity that we face in our day-to-day lives, or while going on a trip, or while going on a school, and wherever we are going and whatever we are doing, it all happen against the will of God. It is the one, He is the one, He is the almighty power of the universe who did all these things. So from now onwards, you must be knowing that God, you must have faith on God, and you must become all truist. Who are all truist? The one who believes in God, right? And keep studying, stay hydrated, and please be determined for your studies and don't waste your time. Thank you. Keep